All right, so a lot of people are saying that, hey, the market's close to a top, this and that. Well, I cannot guarantee tops or bottoms, but here's one indicator to me that, hey, I shouldn't go on leverage and buy the stock market. When you see articles in the media like this, Zero Hedge links an article from CNN. The article on Zero Hedge is Peak Idiocy. CNN urges students not to pay down student loans but buy stocks instead. That title may be a little misleading, but at the end of the day, CNBC does a disservice when they have this article. Let's just read a little bit on Zero Hedge and then go to the CNN article. You know, the central bank driven wealth creation narrative has gone too far when CNN Money, the bastion of personal financial advice, introduces us to Mohammed, I can't pronounce his last name, Majd, M-A-J-D, graduate who opines, I changed my entire philosophy on debt. I started making minimum payments on my student loans, picked up a stock investing for dummies book, and put whatever extra money I made into the stock market. It's great any Muppet can win. It was really a good feeling knowing I could wipe away my entire student loan debt with just a few mouse clicks. This is how the broken market and mindset has become. And before I go into this article, first of all, it only works for people that know how to time the market, but CNN does a huge disservice. Let's just go to this article. Okay, he says this, want to get rich? Don't pay off your student loans. This is actually, I can't believe this actually went on CNN, right? It wasn't actually a CNN reporter, it's one individual who told about their story. I can't believe this headline's on there. So this individual wound up paying his debt because he invested in the stock market. For him, it worked, but for other individuals, it won't work because markets don't go up in a straight line. So let's read a little bit about this. When I graduated from Drexel University in 2009 with a degree in engineering, I was 23 and had $200 in my bank account. In other words, I was like most American college students, poor and in debt. I was okay, it goes on his story. Okay, let's just read this. The loan burden. My mother was overly ambitious in helping me and putting a lot of my tuition payments on her credit card. As a result, she ended up claiming bankruptcy my senior year. Let's look at that. His mother went into bankruptcy by putting the tuition on her credit card. A lot of it. So he had $55,000 in student loans, and then her mom went into bankruptcy as well. So let's just look at the moral of the story. First of all, you don't go into credit card debt paying your tuition. Secondly, you are not going to be like Muhammad and be able to pay your student loans by investing in the stock market. He graduated at a time at the market low, right? In 2009, right? Dow was extremely low at that time. And now it's gone up threefold. So for him, it works out. For any other individual, any other particular time, is this the wisest move? Well, it's only wise if you know when to get in and when to get out. What happens if we have a Japanese-style deflationary depression, right? The odds of it, I don't think, are going to be as high as what's happened in Japan or what has occurred in Japan. But at the end of the day, you need to be ready for all types of scenarios. Inflation, deflation, or hyperdeflation, right? Stagflation, whatever. But at the end of the day, you have to also ask yourself this question. Okay, you're trying to pay off your debt by going and playing in a Ponzi scheme. But you have to also look at this situation. Why are people going into so much debt to pay for their college? Right? This is the number one problem. Back in the day, people didn't go into debt to pay their tuition bills, whatever, right? Ron Paul, he actually worked in restaurants every summer to pay off his tuition. So there we go. This is another problem that these left-wing individuals won't tell you. I posted this on my Facebook article, the Zero Hedge title. And then I got, how should I say it, some negative reaction because, as you know, people in their 20s tend to be left-wingers, right? And then I posed a question to this individual. Okay, what happens if we have a Japanese-style crash? I haven't heard a response from him yet. I mean, we're going back and forth. I was saying that, hey, since 2000 the market has gone up. And then he replied back to me, hey, 25 years the market has gone up. What are you talking about? So then I posed a question to him. Okay, what happens if we have a Japanese-style deflationary depression, right? I'm waiting back for his answer on that. But anyways, if you're young and you're reading this article, you don't pay off your tuition by playing in the stock market. Some of you may win, but most of you are going to lose in that situation. What you do is you go to a community college, right? And then you go to a 4-year if you want to get a degree in engineering, this and that. And from there, if you have trouble finding a job, you go to the firm itself, right? Send letters, cold calls, whatever. You're going to get it. You're going to get a job if you're persistent enough. So this is how you do it. You go to community college, go to your 4-year if your parents can't help you out, and then you go from there. You don't have your parents go into bankruptcy to pay your student loans. That is just terrible. I can't believe some individuals would do that. And unfortunately, his mother, Mohammed, went into bankruptcy. Anyways, thanks for listening to me, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.